Marlene Hutchinson, and welcome to Tips for Guitar Playing Success. As many of you know, I've been sharing my guitar playing tips every Thursday for more than 8 years. It's been my way to hopefully help you stay motivated, be inspired, and continue expanding your guitar playing journey. If you're interested in more learning resources like my Thursday Tips blog, my DVDs, books, virtual learning, and more, go to my website, marlenesmusic.com. And for anyone who's listening and feels like you're missing out on all the fun, you can easily join our wonderful world of guitar with my Learn to Play Guitar in a Day program, which you can also find at marlenesmusic.com. Now on to today's tip. Today's tip is taking flight with your guitar. Did you know that you can take your guitar with you when you fly? And did you know it can be your carry-on? Okay, some of you might be thinking, wait, really? You can take your guitar on an airplane? Yes, it's allowed and was even specified as part of a post-9/11 bill passed by Congress. It's in the CFR Title 14, Part 251, and you can read the detailed information on my Thursday Tips blog. But basically it states that small instruments like violins and guitars can be carried on board and are treated as carry-on luggage. So that means you can take one personal item like a purse or small backpack and your guitar, which will go in the overhead bin. As for your clothing, that suitcase can be checked through. I've experienced taking my guitar with me on airplanes firsthand. Pre-pandemic, I traveled extensively to teach guitar workshops and clinics, and my guitar was always my carry-on bag. And now that travel is opening up again and more of us are beginning to take flight, I thought it would be a good time to talk to you about air travel with your guitar. So now that you know it's okay to take your guitar on an airplane, I want to talk you through the experience from leaving home to arriving at your destination. Starting out at home, prepare your guitar by packing it in a case. A soft case, a gig bag, will work, although for a little more protection, I personally travel with a case that's hard shell inside and fabric on the outside. So you get a little extra protection, but it's not as heavy to carry as a hard case. The fabric cases are my preference because most fabric cases have backpack straps, which makes it easier to carry and for walking around in the airport. Plus, it looks really cool. If you prefer, though, you can certainly travel with a hard case. By the way, if you decide to check your guitar rather than treat it as a carry-on, I strongly recommend that you only use a hard case. And be sure it's marked fragile so that it's treated with a little more TLC when going through the luggage handling process. Now, before you put your guitar in the case, it's a good idea to loosen the strings a half turn each. This releases some of the tension on the neck to accommodate for possible wood and neck adjustments with cabin pressure. Once on the ground, that cabin pressure is no longer a factor. Hey guys, did you know you can be a Tips for Guitar Playing Success Club member? And you can easily join today. Just go to the Join the Club, Become a Member link in the show notes. Back to air travel with your guitar. Once your guitar is packed in your case, you're ready to go to the airport. At the airport, after you've checked in, then you'll proceed to security. At security, your guitar will need to go through the same screening process as any other bag. So place your guitar string side up on the conveyor belt and allow it to process through. In my travels, it's usually been smooth sailing. I go straight through and head off to my boarding gate. But occasionally, and I can count the times this has happened to me on one hand, my guitar has been singled out for further screening. If this happens to you, don't fret. Haha. When it's happened to me, it's mostly been because of the batteries in my tuner. And one time it was because of the gel pouches in my humidity packs that are always in my case. It wasn't a big deal, though. They examined those items, the guitar, and the rest of the case contents, then allowed me to repack my guitar in the case, and off I went to the boarding gate. Now is the fun part. At this point, you may experience some of the great perks of carrying a guitar in the airport. Like, it's definitely a conversation starter, and it can be a boredom buster, too. People have talked to me about guitar at food places, shops, restrooms, and waiting areas. And as for the boredom buster, if you have a layover or delay, get your guitar out and play. I once had a 4-hour delay, so I got my guitar out and played just about every song I knew. It was a super fun way to pass the time, and people near me were singing along. Alrighty, it's time to board the plane. Once you're on the plane, look for a space in the overhead bins where your guitar will fit. It may be near your seat, or you may need to go to a different area of the plane that has a little more open space in the overhead compartment. When you see a good spot, simply place your guitar, again, string side up, in the compartment and find your seat. A little word to the wise, though, most people are pretty kind and thoughtful about seeing a guitar and not generally shoving their luggage near or on top of it. However, sometimes someone might be clueless or in a big hurry and not paying attention, and they may get careless about placing or shoving their luggage on or around your guitar. In fact, on one of my trips, after placing my guitar in the overhead compartment and getting settled in my seat, I noticed a man coming down the aisle with what looked like a seriously heavy backpack. He stopped and lowered it to the floor with a grunt and then struggled under the weight of the pack, heaving it into the compartment and plopping it on top of my guitar case. My reaction, as you can probably imagine, was a little like it would be if someone had tried to hurt my child. Once he realized what he had done, he apologized. I checked and assessed my guitar, and luckily there was no damage. And I think that was because I used the kind of case that is soft on the outside but hard shell on the inside, so I did have that extra protection. Moral to that story is, it's a good idea to keep watch over your guitar until all people have boarded and loaded their carry-ons into the overhead compartments. Now you've landed and it's time to exit the plane. You'll want to carefully get your guitar out of the overhead bin. And a little heads up here, literally, be careful when removing your guitar. It can be a little awkward because most passengers are crowding the space to make their quick exit, and you may accidentally and unwittingly bash someone with your unyielding case. When you've safely removed your case, then you're ready to sling your guitar on your back if you have backpack straps, and off you go to your travel adventure. So carry on your guitar when traveling by plane so you can carry on with your guitar playing at your destination. I hope this episode's tip has helped you to continue expanding your guitar skills and knowledge. If you'd like to learn more, check out the many learning resources available at my website, marlenesmusic.com. Thank you for joining today's podcast, and as I like to say, play on.